So listen, we're working with these trig limits, and the idea is we like combinations of fractions that involve sine of some function. Sine of x, sine of 8x in this case, anything like that. But with some of our problems, they've thrown in extra stuff. Like there's this tangent 3x stuck on the numerator of this fraction. And so what we want to do is we want to break these things down into their parts. And by that I mean, you know that tangent of 3x is really sine of 3x over cosine of 3x. And so what I usually do is I spread this fraction out, and it's still one fraction, but I kind of break up the factors. So we know that tangent of 3x is really sine of 3x over cosine of 3x. And notice I didn't write the cosine of 3x directly underneath the sine of 3x because there's something else we'd rather have under there. And then we've also got this factor in the denominator of sine of 8x. So the idea is we want to make these fractions or these groups of sine of theta over theta. So for example, it would be really great for me to have a 3x right here. So I just put it in, but you know we have to multiply by a form of 1. So if I put 1 in the denominator, I have to put 1 in the numerator. So I'm going to put it in right there. And it would be really great if I had an 8x over the sine of 8x. Keep in mind that the limit of sine of theta over theta is really the same as the limit of theta over sine of theta. So that's going to make a 1. This is going to make a 1. But you'll notice I forgot to do something. If I put an 8x in the numerator, I've got to include 1 in the denominator, so I'll just squeeze it in right there. I should have made more space. And you'll see also that these x's cross out just by algebra. So what we're left with is the limit of these three factors. We have the limit, oh that's not a good looking limit, the limit as x approaches 0 of sine 3x over 3x, and that's great news, that's going to make a 1, multiplied by the limit as x approaches 0 of this middle factor, which is 3 over 8 cosine 3x, times the limit of the right-hand factor, and I'm going to squeeze it in here, I should have started further over, 8x over sine of 8x. And pretend that says sine of 8x. Anyway, let's just compute these limits, multiply these things together, and see what happens. Well, we've been studying that the limit as x approaches 0 of sine of 3x over 3x is a 1. That's great news. We've also been studying that the limit as x approaches 0 of this 8x over the sine of 8x is a 1. So we're going to multiply these two 1's on. And then all we really have to figure out is what's the limit as x approaches 0 of the fraction 3 over 8 cosine 3x. Well, when you substitute 0 in for x, cosine 3x is just 1. So this just turns into 3/8. And so what we found is that the value of our limit is really just 3/8. So when you're working these problems, don't panic. Break the functions up into chunks that involve sine of x. You'll have leftover stuff that you can usually just perform substitution on, just like we did down here with this middle limit here. We just performed substitution and everything worked. So keep working on these, don't panic. You know, we'll work more on these as the week progresses. Try every problem. I'll talk to you later. See ya.